17% of reorganizations were done on the whim of a leader or because the leader believed they just needed to shake things up. That was the finding of a recent McKinsey study. Enabling healthy and sustainable change that supports and grows your organization is a business necessity. But in a world of constant change, how can you be sure whether that next organizational change initiative is needed and won't burn out your employees? Stay tuned. In this video, I'll explore with you the dangers of faux change and 3 questions that you need to ask before you launch your next change initiative. Welcome back to the channel. Before we explore the 3 questions that you need to ask before you launch your next change initiative, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps. And don't forget to click the bell so that you get notified when our next video is published. Change. Any change in your organization, even the tiniest one, is disruptive and sets a cascade of events in motion. When these events are not understood and they're not accounted for before launching another change, the results can at best be chaotic and maybe the change won't be successful. But at worst, it can be catastrophic to your organization. To avoid making things worse instead of better, and burning out your employees with a constant barrage of changes that don't deliver the intended value, that don't stick, it's helpful to ask 3 questions before you launch your next change initiative or any change initiative. The first question to ask before you announce yet another change initiative is another change initiative needed to address the issue, problem, or opportunity? This question addresses 2 critical factors to help you achieve the desired outcome. First, it addresses the issue of faux change. I was introduced to this concept of faux change over 15 years ago. I'll post the reference to the article in the show notes below. Neil Karen and Donna Highfill described it not as just change for the sake of change, but as change for the sake of the changer or the leader. Since being introduced to this concept, I have seen many examples. For example, a new leader who needed to be seen to make a difference implemented a series of changes without completely understanding the current context of the organization. It resulted in low morale, high turnover, and never did achieve its intended results. Or a leader who decides that the solution to addressing one problem within their customer service process is to re-engineer the entire department, sending it into chaos. Asking if a change initiative is necessary before you launch a new initiative gives you the space, the time to more fully and holistically understand the situation within the context of your organization and assess if a full initiative is really needed. It also ensures that the level of change proposed aligns with the need. As Karen and Donna point out, in an era of constant change, of innovation, it's easy to feel the pressure to launch a major transformation when all that is needed is a minor course correction. Asking this question also enables you to leverage collateral change. Collateral change is achieving other strategic or desired new behaviors without consciously adding new change initiatives or projects. Recognizing and using the opportunity for collateral change in your organization will help you achieve multiple outcomes with fewer change initiatives. As a result, you reduce the risk of change fatigue and employee burnout. We showed one organization how to develop a change map that enabled them to use collateral change. They consolidated 25 change initiatives into 5 and still achieved all of their goals. Once you're satisfied, yes, another change initiative is necessary. The second question to ask is, what is your organization's current capacity for change? Just because you as a leader have the authority to decide to implement a change, it doesn't mean you should. Without sufficient change capacity, it's unlikely that any real change will occur, even if you do get something implemented. I did a video on the risk of putting too much emphasis on implementation, and I'll post it in the show notes below. Christine Maher is an associate professor at the Norwegian School of Economics and Business Administration in Norway. And she's done extensive work looking at organizational change capacity. She defines change capacity as the allocation and the development of change and operational capabilities that sustain long-term performance. As she states, the ability to implement any one change, it's not enough. For an organization to have high change capacity, to be able to use change for growth and performance, it must be able to also maintain daily operations and not impede its ability to enable future changes. Sadly, I've seen too many leaders take the attitude of full steam ahead without considering the impact on its operation or other changes that are currently going on in the organization, thus creating employees who learn to fear and avoid change. When assessing your change capacity, you need to consider and recognize that every change you're attempting must be done within the context of your current operation. I don't know of any organization that has the luxury of shutting down daily operations in order to implement a change. The second thing to consider and remember is that we are hardwired to avoid what is uncomfortable and to default to our current state. The third thing to consider when assessing your organization's change capacity is to recognize that no real change can occur from the side of someone's desk. And that when we, people, are overwhelmed or feel that pull of uncertainty, we drop what is most uncomfortable and the most energy-intensive activities first. And these are usually all of the activities associated with change or your latest change initiative. Question number 3, when you're going to launch a change, what is needed to support and enable people to build the readiness and move through the process of adopting those new activities and behaviors? Asking this question helps you remember and focus on 2 crucial aspects of every change. The first is that change has 2 dimensions. Every change is both an event and a transition. The event dimension is the decision, circumstance, or situation that created the need for change. For example, you acquire a new company to grow a missing strength in your current operation. Well, it's true that simply acquiring that company shifted the energy and the dynamics of your existing operation. You also, though, to get that intended value, you must, and the people within your organization must navigate the white space in order to achieve that value and to create and use that new strength. The white space is the journey people must take, we must take to adopt any new activities or behaviors. In the white space, it is where we make decisions. We make the decision to either move forward and adopt those new activities or behaviors, or we make decisions relative to maintaining the current state. The second crucial aspect that this question allows you to explore is readiness. Readiness is not the absence of resistance, And it is readiness and not the absence of resistance that drives change. Therefore, you and everyone in your organization will move through the change process based on their level of readiness. So it's also important that if you are the initiator of the change, that you recognize that your level of readiness is going to be higher than others who are just learning about a change in your organization. And that your level of readiness will influence your perception of the event and how people react to the change. However, it's the change recipients. It's the people who you expect to do the heavy lifting to enable those new behaviors and achieve that outcome. It is their level of readiness that will determine whether you achieve the intended outcome and if those new activities and behaviors stick. Answering this question allows you to create a transition plan that accurately reflects the time, the resources, and the activities that are going to be needed to support and guide people through the process and enable healthy and sustainable change in your organization. There you have it. 3 questions to ask before you launch your next change initiative that will help you enable healthy, sustainable change. Use change as a means of growth, of increasing performance, and allowing you to create employees who aren't afraid of change and will move with you to grow the organization. If you're ready to explore this a little bit further, I invite you in the notes below to sign up and take our 10-day Change Ready challenge. And if you're ready to transform your organization, reach out and let's have a conversation. Bye for now.